when you come down to the loyalties, and when you take the oath and you come into the military, you raise your hand and you pledge to defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic, even at the risk of your life. Well, you realize that very clearly in a POW camp when it comes down to the risk of your life, because you remember that expendable was written right across those BDUs. And you're no less expendable in a POW camp than you are on a battlefield. And when you come down to it, hardcore, we go out to do what our country has asked of us. If we're not willing to, we're in the wrong business, because they tell that to us up front. And if we kid ourselves, particularly in special forces, that's the wrong kind of thing to tell ourselves. You have to realize that there will be things asked of you that you don't agree with. If you're not willing to do them, then get out. And the taskings that we receive, and in the prison camp, that was it. The government was somewhat removed, the government as an entity. The Constitution, the concept of the country, was not, because that was deep inside. Now, a lot of that came from what I got in high school, because I understood what the Constitution was about. I understood what the Declaration of Independence was about. I understand why and how our country was founded. I realized the basis for those documents. And I began to wonder a little bit, though, because in 1967, when the VC were pounding us with propaganda, and in my case, I was in isolation, so I was the only one in the camp, we were getting the New York Times, the Washington Post, Time magazine, and a Congressional Record. And I was being, verbally beaten over the head each day with comments by my own senators and congressmen. Now, the code for me said, I will make no oral or written statement disloyal to my country, its allies, or harmful to their cause. Now, Versace was executed. Parks, Walker, and Tadios died because they were denied food and medication because they wouldn't break. Sergeant Bennett was executed. Sergeant Rohrback was executed. They wouldn't break. And yet all we had to do was to quote from the Congressional Record, and the VC would have gotten off our backs. But it says, I will make no statement disloyal to my country, its allies, or harmful to their cause. And that was where you really realized the difference between dissent and disloyalty. Dissent is what we fight to protect, the right to dissent. And I have no question with that at all. I'm still in uniform, so it means I still believe in that right.